My name is Urusaro Kadimba Sharon, and I'm from Kigali, Rwanda. And I am a filmmaker. I write mostly, and I do a lot of poetry. Yeah. I am mostly intrigued by women's stories, and I'm mostly also intrigued on internal battles that people face. Because I used to watch how people can put on very many different facades that they are doing okay, that they're doing well, but mostly when you look at people on the inside, you might find things that you can never imagine that they're going through. So mostly I do feel my heart goes to such things, mostly when I'm looking at movies. And also I cannot go without mentioning that I am into minimalism and something that is as simple and as natural as it can be. So every time I'm looking at a movie, I'm looking at how simple can it be and how naturalistic can it feel. Also, the look matters to me mostly, and I do feel that those three different attributes to the movie world to me means a lot, that I'm getting to see how far can I take it. Yes, so I am a deep feeler, I think. That was one of the things that motivated me the most. And on this specific project on visualizing the virus, the people that I felt for the most were people who were in school and also people who were in non-essential jobs or work that were not that essential at the time. And so I myself was either one of the two, and I was living with people who were going through either jobs were stopped or schools were stopped. Depending on their age ranges, it also got to affect them differently. Also, another aspect that I got to explore a little bit more was how there was the birth of many situationships in this time, because people had so much time. They had literally nothing to do. You had all day to chat with people that in other circumstances you could have never talked to. Situationships is a label, is something that you just say when it's not a serious relationship, but also it's more than a friendship. But it's nothing official. It's just maybe something because of the circumstances we're in, or because it looked like it's something we can try at this moment, because maybe you were feeling that person in that time, but it doesn't always mean that it's going to end into something stronger or long term. But in that very much situation, people get very comfortable with each other. They get to share some vulnerable parts of themselves with each other. And this virus made it very much easy to just simply relax and be like, have somebody to talk to, have someone to worry about in this very much moment, because I have no school to think about or no more jobs to stress me in this time. Well, I chose to make my film in the form of docudrama, and that is just maybe more of reenactment of something that was real, that happened. It's a true thing that happened, and also to just fictionalize it more, to make it more beautifications for the sake of beautification. And I'm always, like I said, I'm always really much intrigued by how people can be going through their own personal stuff behind the doors, and you might never know that someone might never say something to you, but deep down they are going through something. So for this film, I was very much into going through the private moments that the characters were going through. Personally, I like to hear people talk. Sometimes I just sit in a place and hear, even gossip sometimes, to hear what my girlfriends are talking about, to hear what some of my guy friends are talking about in the moment. I feel like that's where I started, but as the pandemic went further and further, I also got to refer to most of people's tweets, and I could see that many people are being frustrated, and the up and down, they lock us down today, and then the other day we are on. So that back and forth movement, I had to go through so many people's tweets and their own journeys. You could tell that the way, why are people posting these things? Why are people now joining things that they could have never done before? And all of that frustration to me I feel like that's where I based everything, to be like, I don't think this is something I'm only going through. I think some other people are going through something similar, and to see tweets when people are like, you know what, let's just give up on life, or you know what, living in Kigali is the worst thing, or you know what, Hajikwe, na Mnyakijana. You know, there were so many terms that were born in this season. Well, for me, it was also a reflection of myself. I feel like it's my own baby that I made, and for me, it was also a time to get to really. I am an enthusiast of meditation and yoga, and it is something that has been a source of peace to me and a source of to really stay grounded. And as an artist and anybody else who has something they want to advocate for, I think people meditate in different ways. I'm not saying that they all get to do it the same way, but I know that when things seem out of place for you, or when your mental health is at stake, it's always very much important to remember to nourish yourself, to remember to really look into yourself much deeper, to always look inwards. No matter the activity that you do might be different for everyone. Like I showed in my movie, some people are more outward, some other people are more inwards. But the message is, can you always remember to look inwards? In the workshop that was conducted by the University of Global Health and Equity, there's a lot of things that really stood out to me. And on the top of my head, what I can think about is when one of the presenters talked about how COVID is a very clever virus. He said that it doesn't kill you immediately, but it makes sure that it stays in you and keeps spreading all over the place. So you know it's something that you will fight it for a longer time than you know.